everyone. Welcome to Hanging Out at the Hive. I am Kate Volman.
Hi, and who am? Yes, I'm Mary Wong.
I feel like we can never get through the beginning without laughing.
Because it's always like this for us.
I wish you guys could see the behind the scenes. If you've ever been on the show, you get it. You get it.
Look at the behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, before we get started, it's my favorite part because you guys just don't know. You just don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. So, we have an awesome show for you today, as per usual. And but there's always lots going on.
Well, I have something I want to share. So, and I'm going to try to do this.
So unlike you.
So unlike me, but something I need to tell you. So as you know, I've been doing this gratitude thing, right? So, and it's been awesome for me. But this week, and I'm going to try to do this without crying. So, as usual, I will, but I won't. Where's the Kleenex? So, I got this big aha moment for me. So, there's this thing that we do I can't talk about the stuff that we do, but there's a lesson that I learned, and it was about a piece of it that we do that's called ropes. And in the part you go and you climb up and you do these ropes, and there's different parts of ropes climbing that you can do. You can go. I don't know how high the thing is, and I'm probably exaggerating if I say it's 30 feet high or whatever, but it's way up there. Mm-hmm. And there's another one that you go across a tightrope, and another one that you go on a pole and all this stuff. And my teammates, some of them did all three, some of them, did one, some of them did. And I tried the big tall one, but for me, that wasn't on the inclines. And I tried the first time, and I got to the top part, and I did what I could, but I couldn't make it. And then I felt it was horrible. I thought I was the only one that couldn't do it. My legs cramped up really bad, and I couldn't do it. And I just felt like I totally failed. Then I tried it again, and I couldn't do it. And I tried it a third time, it's still a thing, right? And I realized that I didn't fail, because I tried really. So my message to you is this. I tried the best I could do, and at least I tried. The guy that was my boule was awesome, because he was teaching me that he was like, you want it tighter, he was talking to me. But in the middle of that was, a lot of people just got to the top. They did the climb and they just got to the top and they did their thing, but they didn't even enjoy the journey up to the top.
Yeah.
So on my way up, I got to see at the middle part, all these beautiful trees, this eagle. There was 6 dogs running around. I was like waving at the dogs. But you're on this bar on this wood with nothing. You're just hanging out there, right? I am so sore, Kate. So I definitely need to go to Slash. So when we were sitting there, my lesson from that was that you don't have to go to the top to be a leader. That there's definitely a viewpoint being in the middle.
Aw, Mary, you're the best.
So you should enjoy the journey either way, right?
Absolutely. That's what it's about, right? And
I would encourage all of you to do something like that, because it really tests your thing of where your fears might be and what gets you. Because I never thought about even getting, a lot of people think like doing a Christmas tree and getting on a ladder is a big deal. That for me was like, it was huge to do that. Plus I got the seizure. I mean, that was huge for me to do that.
And tell them what the guy said to you, because you kept going back and trying and trying and trying.
He was awesome. Sam, I love you to death. He was like, the one guy that owns the company, we won't talk about that, because he's the guy that he's the pain in your butt. He's the thorn that says, you said you want to go to the top, why aren't you going to the top? And I turned around and I had my words with him. But Sam, the other guy, said, I see you, and I want you to know I'm so proud of you, because most people on the first time that don't make it, like, say things and just walk out and say, we'll never do this. Go on the second time, they we get a cup, low percentage come back a second time and say, I'll try it again. I can't even remember a third time that they go up and they do it a third time. But I want to say that my team, what a great team, and the fact that they all came around, and you have to just absorb that love to just say,
Yeah.
to give you the courage to get back up and do that again.
Mm-hmm.
And to just be that vulnerable to say, okay, I'm going to do this, and whatever I do, you guys cool with, because this is as good as I'm going to get. I'm going to do the best I can do.
Yep.
This is the best as I can do. It was
Aw.
really cool. It was really a good exercise for teamwork. It was really,
good.
but it was also a really good exercise for, this is, okay, I'm good with that. This
Yeah.
is me, this is it.
That's right. I
I'm good
love
with
it.
that.
Yes.
So you got a good guy, huh? What did you do? Were you in a fashion show or something? I heard you talking
Guy.
about
What was the guy?
the gentleman that you met, this inspirational young man that was.
Oh, yeah, we met. Oh my gosh, this guy's incredible. So, our guest today introduced me to to this unbelievable guy. His name's Cruz. So he is paraplegic and quadriplegic, and wow, yeah, and it happened when he was 19 years old. And there's this event that they do every year called Cruiser Palooza, and it raises money to help him throughout the year. So just paying for life and medical expenses and all that stuff. And so we actually had him on the morning show that I do this morning, Delaware Morning Live, and learn all about his story and the event coming up. It's the 10th anniversary event this year, April 21st. And he's just the coolest guy. So loving and caring and funny.
Yeah.
Just like a really funny person. And it really just makes you think about life when, I mean, the guy was in the ocean hanging out doing something he loves to do, skimboarding, and all of a sudden his life changed forever. And to have the community come together and see how they have just loved on him and wanted to be there for him, to support him. And he's an artist, so he paints, and you can buy t-shirts. He creates these beautiful images and then puts them on t-shirts. You can buy them. And now he's starting his own nonprofit. Oh my gosh, we'll have a whole other...
We'll have him here.
Yes.
We're going to invite him. I'm in love.
Yes.
We'll have him with us.
I told him, I was like, Cruz, Mary's gonna love you, and she's gonna cry when she meets you, because she's a sucker for an amazing story. And so, yes, we'll absolutely...
and thank you, Kate.
You are,
Yes,
but it's you. That's what makes you you.
Yes.
All right, so speaking of our guest, I'm so excited to bring our guest on today. I got to see her this morning, and now I get to see her. We're spending the day together. But we've talked a lot about this whole, like, bullet journal.
A little phenomenon.
I
is
know.
created here.
People are loving the whole bullet journal, and it's something, obviously, she did not create the bullet journal, but it's something that I kind of was learning about, and then I saw her, and she did it, and so now everyone's like, what's the bullet journal? So I said, why don't we have Sarah come on, show us how she uses the bullet journal and how we can really use it as a way to be more productive and to get more done and just, keep our lives sane. So, hey, without further ado, let's bring on my good friend, Sarah Martin.
Hey,
Welcome.
you look beautiful.
Yes.
Look at how. Look
She
at
always
Look
looks
at
beautiful.
that. Well, not always, but I'm coming to the Hive. I gotta dress up. I gotta represent.
Looking all suave in her white on white on white.
Oh my God, I feel so old because I remember the two of you. when I.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember?
Yes.
Way
yes.
back
Yeah.
when.
Way back.
Kate was starting in Boca, and I was starting in
Delray.
Delray.
Yes.
Oh.
Hi, I'm
Delray
here.
girl. What's up? Yeah, you can't miss this one. And so Sarah, for those of you that don't know her, she is an incredible entrepreneur. She is the founder and president of Epic Experience Epic.
Mm-hmm.
So she's all about making your event epic.
Yes.
And also, hey, now we're talking about how you can create an epic life. And so I know she's the
I'm
best.
so proud of her.
Oh,
I
thank
know.
you.
Yeah, she's done. Yeah,
Aw.
she's done an awesome job.
She's
Awesome
done
job.
all right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
done all
yeah,
right.
yeah. Look at how powerful we all are. The three of us.
Right?
Seriously.
Girl power.
Girl
What's
I gotta come
up?
up with an idea to make together.
Oh, I have an idea.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
okay. I'm in. Is it legal? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Sort of, barely.
So,
So tell us about this.
yes.
Okay, so I started the bullet journal quite a while. I mean, I have 2 children. I've got an old house that I'm renovating constantly. I'm married for 16 years and a business, and it's just a lot to manage on a day-to-day basis. And I was using all sorts of apps, and finally I was like, I just need to write it down. Like, I need to write it down, see it on paper, and really understand what it is that I'm supposed to be doing and when. So I started these bullet journals, and I went to the original bulletjournal.com, which is it's a really simple way to do your journal. And if you look, like, my beginning journals are just like, they're not super pretty, and they were like lots of scribbles and and no colors or anything. But it's sort of interesting because I can see my progression with the system that is on Bullet Journal. It's really interesting. It's a guy that was like a stage production guy, and he needed an analog system to keep track of everything. I guess he lost all his stuff or something one time, with a phone or an app, and he was like, never again. So
No, yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of data around people and writing and physically writing something and being able to, being able to like cross it off, and like it's just different than all these apps. And so I was being so techie myself, I was doing a lot of those like to-do apps and things where I'm like, I'm being super productive and using Evernote and Google Drive, which I still do. But then I was like, no, like I still love the physical handwriting of your goals and what you want to do.
Yeah.
And so that's so keep going. So you kind of started.
So I started, and then it transitioned over time, right? So I fell in love with this one style of book, and they quit making the book, which is a huge problem because I started making layouts for each day and throughout the month, and I based those layouts on specific areas. So I love reading personal development books. I mean, me and Kate are like trading all the time.
It's I can't wait to hear every week what she's read.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I can't keep up. I'm like still on the 7 things of love or whatever.
Oh, yeah. 7 love languages.
Whatever.
Yeah.
5 love languages,
Is
lady.
it 5?
Well, I made up 7. So
She added 2 more.
So I like Hal Elrod's Miracle Morning, or there's a few other journals that I love, but they were already pre-printed, and I needed mine to be adjusted a little bit.
So the bullet journal, and for those of you, if you're watching and you don't know what this visually looks like, go to Pinterest and just Google, or just go to Google and how funny. Go to Pinterest and Google. Go to Pinterest and search bullet journal, and you'll see, like, some people get really, really creative with the way that they do their journal. You have done that, but just so you can visually see what this looks like, you can create your bullet journal however is going to be most effective for you. However you want to design them, however you want to structure your day, your month, whatever that looks like.
Exactly.
So
yeah, because I've seen, and not to throw anybody off track, but for those of us that are more crafty and like to have the beads and like to have this kind of stuff, like Kate, for example, she actually has little keys and stuff like that.
You do?
No,
Kate
to Shara.
She did, she's put like little things on here because and she's doing those kind of things, and so because she's arts and craftsy, so she's done those kind of things.
It's really interesting. There's like washi tape, which I haven't gotten into, which is pretty addicting.
I have that.
You do? It's like a collection once you get started. That's what I figured. And but I like the fact that as I move through life that I can adjust it every time. So if it's there's a certain thing that's on my daily page, then I just adjust it the next time. I'm not stuck with this journal that has spaces that don't serve me,
Yeah. That's what Sarah taught me, because I was like nervous to start it, because you have to spend some time like doing it yourself.
I mean, it starts off as like a blank page.
Yeah, like you're nothing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's blank.
And so I was like nervous, and she's like, don't worry, like, the journal you start with is not going to be what it ends up with. And so I already noticed, like, my January, like, and versus what I'm now going to start to do for my February, they look really different, because I have a little journal.
I started off little,
but I did like my week in a way.
And of course, they're perfect squares.
Oh yeah.
It's when she measured them too. Oh
yeah. You have a ruler. Mm-hmm. So I did my week, and then I did my. This is what I loved is I have my daily, my inspired activities. So I have my daily, my weekly, and my monthly inspired activities.
So what do you mean by inspired activities?
So these are the things that I need to do like every day. So social love to 5 people. So that just means like 5 different people I want to either retweet their post or share, or
that's
and
cool.
I have write handwritten notes to one person every day. read for 30 minutes minimum, and then I have my personal blog, like write for 30 minutes on a personal blog, whether I post it or not. And then my weekly is, post one personal blog, publish 2 videos, record 2 podcasts, like that kind of thing. And then my weekly is try something new, identify my main goals for the month. So that was one thing I did. And one of the things that I recognized in putting this together is I try to do too much in one day.
So I was going to hint on that, and it's, because I have certain areas that I focus on that are like wake up in the morning. I have a process for waking up in the morning so that I wake up like full of energy, ready to go. I like to rewrite my goals each day. I like to set a target, a numerical target of some sort. Set an intention for the day. Like I'm doing the Daniel fast right now, so and I'm reading. Proverbs. So I like each day it sort of centers around that. Lessons, a lesson that I learned, something that was an aha moment or
I learned that from you. I put it in my weekly.
You did?
I put that in there, yep.
And then wins as well. And then I also give gratitude in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. But then I keep track of like weird stuff, like did I drink enough water? Did I eat throughout the day? Did I do my meditation? And then make sure that I prepare for the next day. So I have that checklist. Here's the deal, though. I never check all the boxes. I think I've done it one time. And so I'm okay with that, though. I'm totally okay with that.
Do you guys think on these, because what I've seen from everybody that I've talked to on these, there's a lot that happens in the morning, there's a lot that happens at night, but in the middle of the day, it's like skip it.
Skip it.
Yeah, people don't.
I'm at the beach.
They don't check the thing in the middle of the day, and it's kind of like. So my point was like these would be awesome pick me ups. I think in the middle of the day, even if it's like a 10-minute, like your inspired activity or something, or your thing to just like that before. I know like you have a million meetings, but before. You just have like that 10 minutes because I blocked out for me like at 4 o'clock that 4 o'clock time period's for me.
Yeah.
From 4 to 5, that's my time.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
So I have not taken any meetings from 4 to 5.
That's great.
And then and then when I go at home, I take care of I do all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I can do this kind of stuff. But maybe that's but maybe you moved it up a little bit and you put in just 15 minutes to just look at something here so that maybe you could check if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
Some of the boxes, if that's your goal.
Yeah.
Or maybe that isn't,
I mean, it's pretty interesting too, like having those inspired things. I have a monthly habit tracker, which are centered around goals. Like I'm painting this big painting for my mom and it's a little more than I ever experienced. I was like, I can do this in like, a couple days. It's literally like 5 foot by 6 foot canvas. And I got it drawn on there. Everything's great. I put the first like layer of paint on it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a 6 month to year project. So, but it's cool because I need to do that every day. I need to paint at least once or twice a week. So setting those goals and keeping track. I can tell percentage-wise how I'm operating. I can say I did 10 out of 15. I did 5, and it's able to say, like, okay, you are actually doing better today. You're getting closer to your goals.
And I'm so glad you said that because one of the things that I've totally taken out of it's not that I did it on purpose, it's just that time-wise.
Yeah.
And the thing that I love the most is crafts.
Yeah.
And I love to do my cross stitch. I love my painting. I love my the coloring, all that stuff. But just because of time, it was like it's just over here. And one day I had so much stuff to do. I was just like, you know what? So I did that. It was the most beautiful picture that came out of that. But I sat there. I must have done it for 3 hours. And you know how pretty those things get. And I was just like, and we got it framed. And so, but you're absolutely right because those are the things that fill you up.
100%. And you start to lose track of it. Like if you go through the day, every day, just doing your meetings, checking your tasks off at work, doing what you have to do in a reactionary way, it doesn't give you that space or that intention to craft out your life. And that's really what I've learned from the bullet journal is you can craft out ahead of time what it is you want to do and guide your choices based upon that. And I mean, it's scientifically proven that when you write it down, it becomes real.
Yeah.
I was actually having this
a
conversation
commitment.
with my mom because she's like, I don't know how you have enough time for that. And I'm like, I make time for this because it's what creates time for everything else.
Yeah.
But she said her biggest fear is write, like, she goes, I don't want to write down my goals. And because they're scared.
Yeah.
Scared to do it. Because once you write it down,
Yeah.
now it's on paper. Like you gotta try. You
true.
gotta go do it.
Well,
that's that mental part that changes what you do.
And then when you get to check it off, like, that's what I mean. Like, when you check off the writing, like, I really like to write, but in my mind, I'm like, if I'm sitting down to write a blog, it's got to be written and published versus, nope, 30 minutes. And if it's not something worth publishing yet,
Yeah.
that's okay too.
Yeah.
And so I like discovered like my mornings is my creative work, and what I was doing in my mornings is like things that are not fulfilling my creative work that I need that energy in that space.
Yeah.
So I restructured my day that way, and then being able to check it off, you just feel it helps keep you on track when you're feeling like you're not on track. So like for those times when you're just like, oh, I have so much to do, and I'm like, wait, go back to my daily. Okay, I got to do this. I got to go do this, and then you get more centered.
Yeah.
And going back to the so I have to throw a book because it's perfect. I'm reading this book right now. I told you this morning.
I'm dying.
Before Happiness, Sean Acor. Oh my gosh, he also has The Happiness Advantage. I think Before Happiness is the prequel. So he talks about how we have to base our goals off of meaning markers, because so often we have these things where we just think we should be doing them. We have our day, like you were saying, you just go to your day to day.
Yeah.
When you have meaning markers, like what are you truly going after? Like what's most important to you? Like, is it your family? Is it your career? Is it, whatever's most important to you are the things you're going to make the time for. So he says you have to map things out. And then he talks about you don't have, like, your map can change, right? Like your priorities can change. And so a lot of times we're so forward moving all the time, like every day, every week, every year, that sometimes we forget to reevaluate what is it that we're really passionate about. I've had some of my girlfriends who were like super career driven, and all of a sudden they're like, no, my goal this year is to like, I want to get married and have a family, and like I'm not putting any attention into it. So it depends on what it is for you. And there's also this science. There's also this science that shows, I didn't know this either. Read the book, people. I'm going to link it because it's amazing. He has a lot of scientific proof of these things. So when you set yourself up and act as though you're a little closer to achieving your goal than you are, it gives you the adrenaline that you need to finish it. So the example that he gave is when people are running a marathon is 26.2 miles.
I've run one.
26.1 mile, they call it the X mark or the X factor. At that marker, they actually have physicians waiting at the finish line, because at that marker, when people see it, they get a boost of adrenaline. That's why people can run a little bit faster right at the end.
Yeah.
Because they're seeing the finish line. So he talks about, he did this study with a coffee shop where, you get the punch card, buy 10 coffees, whatever. So they gave one group a punch card with 10 things you have to punch. They gave another group one that had 12, but 2 of them were already punched. They both need to visit there 10 times to get their free coffee, but the people that had the 12 came in faster than the other ones because they were closer in their mind. They were closer to the goal. They weren't. They needed 10.
Wow.
But they needed 12, but they were closer.
That is awesome.
That
is such an awesome experiment.
What he said was, go ahead and like write down, like on your task list, write down some of the things in the morning that you've already accomplished, because it's going to trick your mind into thinking you're like further along in your like tasks than you really are.
Yeah.
So that's a fun little tip.
I sometimes check the box before it's done. Because I'm like, no, you can't go back and erase it. I always use pens. My fabulous pens. Like, you talk about crafting. You love this,
yeah,
right?
That's right.
So and I'll go through and I'll be like, no, I'm definitely doing that. And I check it, and then it's like, okay, I'm doing it.
You're committed to
yeah,
it.
it's definitely. I also have a monthly book, which is because
They're like, baby.
no.
They
It's
go
my
like up
dailies and my
inside.
baby. It had to do with the number of pages. I was like going through books like way too fast. But in my monthly, I have things like...
Look how pretty this is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so every year, Richard Branson has this thing where he does however many years old he is, he has that many goals. So I'm 37. And so I've almost got it filled out, not quite, but one of them was riding in a helicopter. I've done events with helicopters, and I've never ridden in one, and I'm like, I'm riding in a freaking helicopter. So we did it. It was awesome. Then I also have my financial plan throughout the year. So based upon like where I am, what I want to grow, my calendar, books to read or that I've read.
Look at that.
Isn't that adorable?
That
cool?
looks awesome.
This is not my design. I mean, somebody else had this on Pinterest. I just amended it for
Of course,
my use.
that's why you go on and look for ideas.
Yeah.
Because people are super creative.
This is January, so it's not everything's filled out yet. I love this one, and I suggest everyone to do this one. It's your timeline for the year. So each one of the squares is a date, and it's a date that something happened. I feel like when we get through the end of the year, I used to have a paper calendar, and I could flip through it and see like, oh, I did this on that date, or oh, that happened. This time I decided to do it all on one page. So if there's a
That's
significant
cool.
date,
I love that. Oh,
and I
you
can
would
see my whole year.
Your bullet journal would like rock the house. It's gonna have like glitter when you open it up.
And then this is my monthly, so it has each one of the tasks or things that I want to complete in the day, and if I completed them or not. So I have not recorded many videos, and I definitely haven't painted.
Right?
At all. So that's really bad. But I also have the percentage of how I've operated.
Wow, look at you.
I know. Some of them are a little
So
personal.
if you're watching right now,
That is awesome.
Yeah.
First
I
of
just
all,
think that's awesome.
Yeah.
if you're
I'm gonna make it
watching,
prettier.
if you're watching
I think
and
that
you
looks
like
great.
what we're talking about, like this post. Show us some love, and
Yeah.
also let us know what you how. If you use a bullet journal, let us know. Or if you're being inspired to maybe try the bullet journal, let us know as well. We want to hear from you. So comment and let us know. And also like it, because we like seeing the little hearts.
Ooh, and if
go
you
by.
do it and you have a layout, share it in the comments.
Yes.
Take a picture and share it so we can see your
Well,
layout.
that's what I was going to ask was one of the things, and I don't know if, I know like some of these things are personal, they're your goals, they're your things, it's intimate, whatever that might be. But I also I think like just being able to hear, not that I want to know like all the stuff, it's just like it's great to be able to know like ideas come up, right?
Yeah.
So like, oh, I think that's great that you send 5 letters to a friend or something like that. I'd like to do that. So having that thing, do you ever do things like have, just maybe doing like once a month, like just like, what do you do in your bullet journal kind of a thing? Maybe this would be a
should
nice,
do that.
We should do
this,
that.
like, maybe we
like
should
a
do
goal
this.
setting session.
Let's
like,
do it here
So
once
it's
a month, every month.
and just do it.
Are
So
you
like-
in?
I'm in.
So we just get a touch base. So
Yeah.
everybody, what I'd like to say is this: why don't you get a journal? And I'm gonna do mine. Mine's gonna be all in. That's what I'm gonna call it.
All in.
We got another convert.
And so I'm gonna work
You're welcome,
on mine.
bullet journal.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a bullet journal. I'm gonna put mine together.
Okay.
And I'll put mine out there, and I'll put my stuff together. Mine's gonna be pretty. And so, but I think that you put down, and I think we all get ideas on what you have in yours. Like, so what do your sheets look like?
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable, by all means, take a picture and let's share it.
Yeah.
Like take a picture of the things of what you got.
Yeah.
So that we can help each other out and being able to put together. I love that you have a daily and a monthly.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like you.
The pages just filled
Fill
up.
I
going
would get
through-
really confused.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Can I show one more thing? Because I'm like super excited about this
Okay,
part.
let's see.
So I have
You added Post-it notes.
I have
Right.
Post-it notes on mine. So when I have an idea for something like a blog or for a podcast, I put it on a little Post-it note. So then I can say, oh, okay, I'm gonna take my Post-it note and put it on the week that I'm gonna record that video. So now it's here.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh, look at how cool that is.
I'm sorry, I really love that. It makes me really excited. Because I love when I have, we always have, what I kept doing was, like most of us do, we have this awesome idea, and we're like, that's amazing, I'll
And you
never
can't
forget
remember
it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're
Forget
like,
it.
what was that thing I was going to do a video about? So now I do this. That's,
And the index. Do you have your index?
oh, Well, after you told me to do one, I did, but I'll show you that it looks like.
Yeah, so the index is also key because you can put in all these ideas and you go back and you can just go through your index, your table of contents, and be able to see everything that's in the book. It's your brain. I mean, to be honest, I think it was Einstein that said something like he never remembers anything that, I'm totally botching this, but he never remembers something that he can look up, and that frees his mind to be creative and to be open and to think bigger. And so that's what bullet journal does for me. It's my brain. It's like keeps everything in that space so I can be me and creative and open.
It's my brain.
It's my brain.
I like it.
So I think that this is a great opportunity for us to help each other to become not only organized but really to get our. I think you said it really well, is to get our goals and get it all situated as to what we want to do.
Yes.
And then, I think that this might be something for our mastermind thing too.
Yes.
So
speaking of, and actually, so the Difference Maker Network, if you are not yet a member, this is a great opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about it and become a member, because it's a whole other, we talk mostly about wing women stuff here, but there's a whole other side where it's the Difference Maker Network. Mm-hmm. And many of you are members, where we bring people together and we have different lunch and learns. And actually, Sarah is doing the bullet journal workshop.
Oh, awesome!
During in February. I'm like, it's on your. Is it in your bullet journal?
It's in my calendar.
So we have experiences like that, lunch and learns, and then we also have it's called Meet Your Difference Maker. And essentially it's a mastermind where you get to come and really brainstorm ideas. So everyone has an opportunity to come to the table with a challenge that they're going through, share it with everyone, and then everyone has a certain amount of time that we're all going to really workshop and help with ideas.
Oh, wow.
It's an incredible way to just get out of your own head, hear from third-party people how they're viewing your challenge, because it's very different than the way you're viewing it. And then also what always happens is, who you need to meet is so-and-so. They're going to help you with that.
And I want to speak to the men out there. I know this is hanging out the hive, but bullet journaling is for men too.
Mm-hmm. It was started by a man.
It was started by a man.
Yep.
And that process is very, very, although I'm talking, we're joking and we're saying make it pretty and all of those things. It's very analog. It's very analytical. It is putting that thought process step by step by step. Mm-hmm. And I would invite you all to come and be a part of that, because I think this can help anybody on anything. And I invite the men to be a part of this with us. And please come and have
the pink one.
Well, and and having that perspective of having both. The left brain, right brain thing, I think is really important, so that we can see that too.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting.
Absolutely.
In that piece. So I think that having that, and then having some of that beforehand, that we can bring it to the table for February, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
On there.
For sure.
And so my goal will have at least mine started, so that I can have it started.
That's awesome.
On the piece.
Yes. All right, so if you want to learn more about the Difference Maker Network, go to listenlearncare.org to learn more. And Sarah, any parting words? What's your inspirational message to everyone that's watching?
Oh, wow. Just do something epic today. An epic can be small and it can be grandiose, but do something that is exciting and that gets your heart pumping.
I just also want to say, if anybody would like to get in touch with you in regards to with your meeting planning, with all the things that you do, or all the epic events that you do, how do they get in touch with you? What's your website?
They can go to experienceepic.com, and we work in the realms of sponsorships, event engagements, event marketing, nonprofits, and fundraising.
Great.
Yeah.
She's the best.
Love
Absolutely.
It. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys next time, and definitely comment and let us know if you're not watching this live and you're watching it now. Now it's live. You get what I'm saying. It's let us know if you want to start bullet journaling. We're gonna start doing that. I love that idea, and we'll have Sarah come back.
Yay.
Since she's the bullet journal queen. And so just comment, let us know, and obviously these Hang Out at the Hives are for you, so we can stay in touch with you. So hey, let us know what you want to see, what you have going on, and how we can support each other. So, hey, we'll see you next week.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, Sarah.
God, it was so good to see you. Look at her.